Contractors of the civil hospital in the Ashanti region, Aerojet, have rejected claims made by President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo at the State of the Nation address that the hospital is complete, describing the commissioning as illegal. And also, 3 out of the 4 disputed constituencies in the Greater Accra region declared in favor of the NPP as the NDC plans to fight after assuming power. There's more in this report after we're back with this Tuesday. You're welcome back to the program. Let's begin with a first story. The Speaker of Parliament, Kinsley Aiman, has pledged to do more than before and fully dedicate himself to task ahead if confirmed as the Speaker of Ghana's 9th Parliament. His commitment follows a directive from President-elect John Dramani Mahama, who instructed the National Democratic Congress NDC parliamentary leadership to nominate Kinsley Aiman for the role of Speaker in the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic. President-elect John Dramani Mahama, describing Kinsley Aiman as a seasoned leader with extensive experience, expressed confidence that his leadership would be crucial in navigating the challenges facing the legislative arm of government. In accepting the nomination, Speaker Kinsley Aiman expressed sincere gratitude to the President-elect, NDC leadership and the party's parliamentary executives for entrusting him with the responsibility, quoting, "I am deeply humbled by His Excellency's confidence in my ability to lead the august House as we begin a new chapter in our nation's democratic journey," unquote. Kinsley Aiman also reflecting on his commitment to the principles of democracy and governance stated, and I quote again, "Throughout my years of service to Parliament and the people of Ghana, I have always remained loyal to Ghana and committed to principles of justice, fairness and respect for the rule of law," unquote. As Speaker, Aiman vowed to uphold these values while ensuring Parliament operates with integrity, transparency and inclusiveness. Away from Parliament, let's do some issues relating to election. The Electoral Commission on Sunday, January 5, 2025, recollated parliamentary results for 4 disputed constituencies following the December 7, 2024 general elections. The constituencies in dispute included Ablekuma North, Techimon South, Okankwe Central and Tema Central. The Commission conducted a recollation exercise after the High Court in Accra on Saturday, January 4, ruled in favor of the mandamus application by the New Patriotic Party. The application sought to compel the EC to recollate results from these constituencies and declare winners. The court, presided over by Justice Forsen Ejapon, ordered the EC to recollate the result and finalize the declaration. The application sought to compel the EC to also recollate results from these constituencies and declare winners. The court, presided over by Justice Forsen ordered the EC again to recollate the results and finalize declaration. Now, following the court's order, the EC recollated the results in the early hours of Sunday. At the conclusion of the exercise, the EC declared members of Parliament elect for 3 of the disputed constituencies, while the result for Oblekmo North was suspended for further validation. Dr. Sribo Kweku has more to speak about.
The political parties, if they have the hard copy or the soft copy, they should make them available. So that when the two parties have, we will now do the comparisons. Then we know that we'll take the decision. Now, we were left with 62. From the return officer, he will speak. After doing the collaboration with the two parties, they have reduced the 62 to 21 now. So he will need, because the 21, they are not agreeing. It's 20 or 20. They are not agreeing. So he will need time to study them again before he takes final decision. So we will suspend the collation for today to give him time. Then when he's ready, he will call us. Then we'll come and come.
Election stories. The Electoral Commission has officially declared Martin J. Mensah-Corso of the New Patriotic Party as Member of Parliament elect for the Techiman South constituency. This follows a ruling by the High Court on Saturday, January 4, which revealed that the EC had not fully completed the collation of results for the constituency. The court noted that results from 147 polling stations were still pending, and despite requests, the EC had to address these issues. As a result, the court ordered the EC to complete the collation process by including the outstanding result. In line with the court's directive, the EC finalized the result and subsequently declared Martin J. Mensah-Corso as the winner, who garnered 46,663 votes, defeating his nearest competitor, Christopher Bayerem of the National Democratic Congress, who received 43,429 votes. The EC also confirmed that even if the results from the more polling stations were added, the outcome would remain unchanged. Meanwhile, the NDC has announced its intention to appeal the High Court's ruling concerning all 4 contested constituencies.
Returning officer for Techiman South. Following the court order that we should complete our collation today, we have come to the end of the collation for Techiman South. And here are the results for Techiman South. Martin Kwaku Aje Mensah-Corso hold 46,663 votes. Christopher Bayere Baswente hold 43,429 votes. Donko Moses hold 140 votes. Boyong Idris hold 76 votes. Total valid votes are 90,308. Then total rejected ballots, 844. Total vote cards, 91,152. Now, there are issues with 2 outstanding polling stations. And these polling stations, votes have not been added to these votes that I've read to you. And these polling stations are DA Primary School, Bamiri. They have 657 voters. Islamic JHS, Abosu, also have 481 voters. If you add them up, you will get 1,138 voters in these 2 polling stations. Looking at the results on the summary sheets, even if you add this total number of voters to one candidate, it will not make a change for the winner. And following the number of votes polled by the candidates, Martin Adjemensan-Kosa is leading with 46,663 votes. With the power vested in me as the returning officer for Techiman South, I therefore declare Martin Kwaku Adjemensan-Kosa as member.
Well, still on this matter, the Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the National Democratic Congress, Dr. Rashid Tetteh, has accused the Electoral Commission of engaging in illegal activities, pointing to an injunction filed against the ongoing coalition process. He further stated that the EC has become one of the most lawless institutions in Ghana. Dr. Rashid Tetteh emphasized that the NDC will not participate or reorganize any result for the process as they consider it an unlawful act.
Whatever they are doing is completely illegal. This Electoral Commission is becoming one of the most lawless institutions we have in Ghana. We are not going to take kindly with what is going on. We are not part of it. We will not respect whatever is coming out from this process because it's an illegal process. So whatever they are doing is
Dr. Rashid Tetteh over there. But away from that, the Koforidgeri High Court has adjourned to Monday, January 6, 2025, to rule on an application filed by the New Patriotic Party to set aside an interim injunction preventing the swearing-in of Ernest Kumi as the Member of Parliament-elect for the Akwatia constituency. On Thursday, January 2, the court granted the request of the NDC parliamentary candidate Henry Boakye Yadom against the EC, Ernest of Parliament, prohibiting Kumi's swearing-in. Counsel for the NPP, Gary Nimako Marfo Esquire, who moved the application, argued that the ex-party injunction was filed based on a petition that was improper before the court. He urged the court not to only set aside the injunction order, but to also dismiss the petition itself. He further submitted that the result of the election can only be challenged 21 days after they have been published or has been gazetted. However, the lawyer of the NDC parliamentary candidate Bennett Bediako Beidu disagreed, stating that the submission made by Gary Makumafo were flawed. Let's now shift our focus to Kantemata when on Saturday, January 4, 2025, Professor Jane Nano Opoku-Agyeman, the Vice President-elect of the Republic of Ghana, visited the site of the devastating fire at Kantemata Market. The inferno destroyed the entire market, leaving thousands of traders without their livelihoods. Now, during her visit, Professor Jane Nano Opoku-Agyeman consoled the affected traders and called for swift actions to address the situation. She also urged anyone with information regarding the cause of the fire to come forward. The fire reportedly started late Thursday night and is believed to have been caused by either an electrical fault or an arson. Investigations are ongoing as calls for accountability continue to intensify. Well, we'll bring you that full bite shortly in our subsequent bulletin. But still on the relation with the Kantemata fire, the Member of Parliament-elect for Abuakwa South constituency, the Eastern Region, Dr. Kinsley Aiman, has urged the government to take immediate action to reconstruct the Kantemata market in Accra Central Business District following a fire outbreak on Thursday. Speaking to journalists after the MP's registration in Parliament, Dr. Aiman emphasized that the reconstruction should be led by the government to ensure that proper standards and safety measures are implemented. He highlighted the need for the new markets to feature well-engineered structures, stating, and I quote, "We can't continue to rebuild the market in the same way that led to the fire," unquote. Now, while the NP expressed sympathy for victims and acknowledged their need to earn a living, he insisted that the correct approach must be taken to prevent future disasters.
My greatest sympathy to all the affected traders at the Cantonment market. I hear they are reconstructing the market. I have a very strong opposition to that. We can't continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. The reconstruction of the market must be done by the government with pre-engineered or well-engineered structure, because we can't continue to reconstruct this market the same things that give up the fire. In as much as it's a very difficult thing and I sympathize with them, the government must take the reconstruction, properly engineered pathways, proper wiring, anything that will make good for a very good market. Act 1061, Section 218 of the Insurance Act of 2021 is very clear that commercial buildings or commercial places must be insured against fire, public liability, storms, and stuff like that, so that we can enforce, government will enforce for the purchase of insurance. Because the way they are constructing, like the previous ones, are all insurable. You can't insure Cantonment market with these construction materials. So our risk exposure is very high. And we must get it that it is a business they are running. They are not charities. If you are doing business, insurance is a very legitimate cost line or cost item. Insurance is not expensive, especially some of these commercial buildings or commercial insurances that are backed by law, that is compulsory, that everybody undertakes. I think the rate is between 0.15% and 0.2%. For ease of calculation, if a value is let's say 1 million Ghana cedis, you use the higher one, which is 0.2%. The premium that is payable annually is just 2,000 cedis. So it's about time that we take some of these things very seriously. The act has been is in place. It's up to us to enforce it. But you can't enforce an act with the kind of construction that happens in places where we all patronize that much. I hear Kwadaso Wood Village 2 is on fire. My check from the industry shows that KJTR market was previously insured, but from 2022, they've stopped paying premiums and they are not on cover. Look at this thing that a lot of money went into it, KJTR market. It's uninsured as I speak with you. We can't continue like that. Cantonment, the government must stop the reconstruction by the traders. We sympathize with them, but the basis for which they are reconstructing is a recipe, or we are just...
Away from fire, let's settle on issues with our health. The government was yet to meet its full financial obligation to Eurojet Invest. The Egyptian investment company awarded the contract to build 9 hospitals across the country, including the Ashanti Regional Hospital situated at Sewa in the Bosomtwi district of the Ashanti, which was commissioned on Saturday by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The president at the ceremony commissioned the 250-bed Ashanti Regional Hospital and a 50-bed infectious disease center in Sewa in the Bosomtwi district of the Ashanti region. But the contractor of Eurojet Invest has rejected the commissioning in a statement, arguing that the project was not complete for it to be commissioned. In a statement issued by Eurojet in Accra on Sunday, January 5, 2025, and signed by Saeed Deraz, the group chairman of Eurojet Invest, said the hospital project was not yet fully completed and had not yet been handed over to the government. The government was still yet to meet its full financial obligations to contractors. It said the commissioning of the hospital by President Akufo-Addo was conducted in direct violation of terms of our contract. The company went ahead to provide 5 photos to support its argument that the project was not complete and had not been handed over to the government. Away from that, The Bank of Ghana, the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Addison, has reiterated that the licenses of banks revoked during the 2017-2019 financial sector reforms will not be reinstated as long as he remains in office. In a television interview with Joy News, Dr. Addison responded to appeals for the reinstatement of revoked license, saying, and I quote, "As long as I remain governor, none of these licenses will be reinstated," unquote. Dr. Addison stated was response to questions about the responsibility of the incoming government considering the reinstatement of the revoked license following appeals by the shareholders of the banks. According to Dr. Addison, he emphasized that the decision to revoke the license were made after thorough reviews of the institution's operations, and many of which were found to have engaged in risk investment and mismanagement of depositors' funds.
That cleanup took place to allow the banking system to play the role that it's supposed to play in a market economy like ours. Those who were taking people's money and using it to run their own businesses, that's not banking. You don't do banking by going to take Kofi and Kwesi's money and use those resources to finance your own business. That's what most of them were doing, right? So when I give you a bank license, I'm giving you a license to take people's money. The money is not yours, right? You're taking money from the public. And there are rules associated with that. That we found a situation in which people were taking the money. They were using the money as if it was their private money, funding their own businesses, some of it going into brick and mortar investments which were not liquid enough to make the resources available when the depositors needed their funds. So it's important for people to understand that a banking license, right, is a different kind of instrument.
And that was Dr. Addison over there. But that's all for the bullet.